Hello students, we will continue the quadratic equation from the previous part. We have done the quadratic formula, right? We have already explained the quadratic formula. Then we have also explained the nature of the roots. The nature of the roots is based on an expression, right? B square minus 4ac, whether it is positive or negative. Positive will give you real roots, negative will give you imaginary roots, right? So this b square minus 4ac, we call it as discriminant. So sometimes in multiple choice type of question, you may be asked if the discriminant is less than 0 or greater than 0, then what will be the nature of the roots? Just know that discriminant means this b square minus 4ac. Okay, discriminant is b square minus 4ac. That is the quantity under the square root. Okay, now once the nature of the roots is over, we are going to continue with another topic. It's relation between the roots. What is the relation between the roots of a quadratic equation and the coefficients? Okay, so let me start with an example here. Last time when we calculated the square roots, the roots of x square minus 6x plus 7 is equal to 0, we found out alpha and beta. What were the values? We got 3 plus, no, let's just calculate it, okay? When we found out the roots of this equation, use quadratic formula here, minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. So here a is 1, b is minus 6, c is 7. You put in the value, you have got 6 plus minus root over b square is 36, minus 4 7 into 1, we got 28, divided by 2 into 1 is 2. So we got 6 plus minus root over 8 by 2. We take common factor from above. 3 plus minus root 2 divided by 2. You cancel out the 2 and 2. So we have got 3 plus minus root 2. Actually, we have already calculated this in a previous video, right? The same quadratic equation, we have already calculated it using the quadratic method. So yeah, what are the roots here? We have got alpha is equal to 3 plus root 2. Beta is equal to 3 minus root 2. So let's write here separately. Alpha is 3 plus root 2. Beta is 3 minus root 2. What if you are asked the sum of the two roots? What will be the sum of the two roots? Sum will be alpha plus beta, right? So if you are asked to calculate alpha plus beta, alpha is 3 plus root 2. Let's put them inside the bracket. Plus beta is 3 minus root 2. There is a plus sign in front of the bracket, so if you open it, there is no issue. So we got 3 plus root 2 plus 3 minus root 2. Cancel out. 3 plus 3 is 6, right? Then if you want to find out the product of the roots, if you are asked to find out the product of the roots will be alpha into beta. Alpha into beta, we have got alpha is 3 plus root 2 and beta is 3 minus root 2. This fits exactly the form of a plus b whole and a minus b whole, right? So what was the value that we will obtain from this? A square minus b square. What's the a here? 3 is the a, b is the minus, b is the root 2. So we are going to get a square will be 3 square minus root 2 square will be b square will be root 2 square. 3 square 9, root 2 square, you cancel the square and root. So we have 2 left. 9 minus 2 will be 7. So this is a conventional method on how to find out the sum and the product of a root after solving the quadratic equation. First of all, in order to arrive at this, we have to solve what is the value of alpha and beta, right? So in order to find out the value of alpha and beta, you have to go through the quadratic equation, the quadratic formula of the quadratic equation. Same thing for the product also. You have to first find out what is alpha and beta and then multiply them in order to get the product of the roots. But there is a shorter method. You just have to know the value of a, b, and c, and then the sum of the roots it will take into a specific formula. The product of the roots it will also take into a specific formula. So let's find out what will be the formula for sum of the roots and what will be the formula for the product of the roots in terms of the coefficients. So you know that the value of alpha, it's minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. And beta is how much? Minus b minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. Okay, if I want the sum, you just add the two. So let's write here sum of the roots. That will be alpha plus beta. So add these two. Okay, add this value and this value. So we have got minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a plus beta will be minus b minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. Denominator is same, right? So we can, when you add these two values, when you add these two terms, we can write 2 as common denominator for both of them. So we have got in the denominator, we have got twice a. Numerator, let's just put these values, this and this. Since the denominator is the same, you don't need to do cross multiplication or anything. So minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac. And look, there is a plus and there is a minus sign. Multiply them, so we will get plus minus is minus sign, right? Minus b, same thing with plus and minus, you will get minus sign. Minus root over b square minus 4ac. Okay, look, we have four terms. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The four terms, of the four terms, two of them are opposite signs. Which one are those? This and this. Look, there is root over b square minus 4ac in both of them. But one has positive sign, the other is minus sign. If you have plus a and minus a, then you will cancel them, right? A minus a will be 0. Same thing, you can cancel out this value and this value because they subtract out to 0. What is actually remaining there? There is a minus b remaining here, and then there is a minus b remaining here. So minus b is remaining. Let's put it. So we will get minus b by 2a. Minus b and minus b, same sign. You should add them. So you get minus twice b by twice a. Cancel the 2 and 2. Minus b by a. Okay. Let's put alpha plus beta in the front. What is this alpha plus beta representing? It represents the sum of the roots of what equation? Sum of the roots of this equation. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Alpha is one of the roots of this equation. Beta is another root of this equation. So if you add the two roots, then we use the quadratic formula. If you add them, finally what do we get? We get minus b by a. Okay, let's go back to the previous calculation that we did. Look, in the previous calculation, we found out alpha, then we found out beta, and then we add them in order to find out the sum of the roots. Same thing with product also. We find out the roots first and then we multiply them. But we don't need to find out the roots first and then add or multiply them because we have a shorter formula for addition. What do we get for alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta, we get minus b by a as the formula, right? So let me erase the product portion. Okay, just note that when you add the two roots, you get 6, right? Let's see if we are able to obtain this same value by using the formula that we have just learned, the formula that alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. So the formula is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. What is b here? B is minus 6 from this equation, right? B is minus 6. A is how much? 1. So just put in the value. So what are we going to get? Minus, instead of b, we are going to get minus 6 divided by a. A is how much? A is 1. So minus is plus 6 by 1. So we get 6. So no need to calculate alpha and beta first and then you add them later. No need to do that. You just have to use the formula minus b by a, and you already know how we have obtained minus b by a, right? So same value is obtained. If you find out alpha and beta and then add them, or if you use minus b by a, you obtain the same result. So this one is the shorter and more accurate because there might be errors if you go through this quadratic formula. Okay, that's the formula for addition, the formula for sum of the roots, right? So the sum of the roots alpha plus beta is how much? Minus b by a. So put a little note. Therefore, sum of roots of the quadratic equation What is the quadratic equation? Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 is given by what? Minus b by a. So minus b by a is the formula for sum of the roots. Okay, let's look into the product then. We've already done the sum of the roots. So now let's look over to the product of the roots. Let me erase this. So product of the roots. So what are the roots? Alpha and beta. Product means alpha into beta, right? Okay, let's find out alpha into beta in terms of this quadratic equation by putting the roots in terms of the quadratic formula, and then we will find out the formula, specific formula like the minus b by a that we have seen for the sum of the roots. Okay, so alpha into beta is equal to, what is alpha? Alpha is here, beta is here, just put in the value, minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a into, we are multiplying, minus b minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. The numerators have two terms, so let's wrap them inside brackets. Let's put a bracket here. Denominator, no issue, there is a single term in there. Okay, if you multiply then let's just multiply the denominator first. 2a into 2a, 4a square, right? 2a into 2a is 2 2s are 4, a into a, we will get a square. So first of all, if you take care of the denominator, then 2a into 2a, it will produce how much? 4a square. Look at the numerator. What are the terms? Minus b and root over b square minus 4ac. In here, it's minus b and root over b square minus 4ac. Same terms, right? Minus b is here, b square minus 4ac is here. What's the difference then? There is a minus sign here, there is a minus sign, there is a plus sign here, and there is a minus sign here. So let's consider this to be x, let's consider this to be y. Between them there is a plus sign, right? Here this is x, this is y, there is a minus sign in between. Okay, what happens if you multiply x plus y and x minus y? You get x square minus y square. Same thing with a plus b, a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. I just don't want to confuse you with the a and b down below. So I just represented them with x and y. So if you multiply these two, we are going to get x square minus y square. What is x? X is minus b. Y is root over b square minus 4ac. Get it? So instead of x, we are supposed to get x square minus y square, right? Instead of x, we have got minus b here. So there is a whole square minus plus minus. Then y square will be, y is this portion as a whole. So we will put root over b square minus 4ac whole square. Okay. Here from this portion minus b whole square, you will get b square. The minus, if you multiply 2 times, it will turn into positive, right? This one we will get b square. What about this one then? There is a square and there is a root. You can cancel them. There will be a b square and therefore ac remaining. Okay, let's put down the values. First term, we are going to get b square only. Second term, square and root is cancelled. Let's do it with a different color. Square and root is cancelled. So there is a minus sign and there is a bracket. So b square minus 4ac is remaining. Divided by 4a square. Let's open the bracket then. B square minus b square. There is a minus sign in front of the bracket, so you have to multiply the minus sign in the middle when you open it. Minus minus, we are going to get plus. Plus 4ac by 4a square. Okay, look, these two can be cancelled out. B square minus b square is 0. Cancel out. What is remaining then? 4ac is remaining on the numerator. So we just got 4ac by 4a square. Okay, then 4 can be cancelled. There is a 1a above, 2a below. 1a and one of the a's can be cancelled out. So 1a and one of the a's can be cancelled out. What is remaining? C by a is remaining. Okay, so like the formula that we have obtained in the sum of the roots, we have obtained minus b by a. Likewise, when you multiply the two roots alpha and beta, we finally get the formula that is based on the coefficient c by a, right? So let's write here as note. So note the product of roots, or what equation? ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. It's given by what value? C by a. All right. Okay. So you have to note it down. Note this down. This one, the sum and the product, the values you have to note it down. Okay. Let me rough this out. Okay. As you can see, the sum of the roots alpha plus beta is minus b by a. The product of the roots alpha into beta is c by a. What are a and c? We have got an equation ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. A is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, c is the constant term. We have already explained it in the previous class also. Okay, then let's take on one or two examples in order to apply these two formulas. Okay, so first of all, let me take this equation 5x square minus 10x plus 2. From here is equal to 0. From here you have to find the sum and product of the roots without solving. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you just have to note down the a, b, and c, right? So in solution, we're going to have, first of all, a is 5, b is how much? Minus 10, c is how much? 2. You know where a, b, and c are, right? A is this one, b is the 10 including the sign, so minus 10, c is this 2. So since we already know the sum of the roots is minus b by a, you can either write alpha plus beta, but you have to define what is alpha and beta first. Okay, so don't write alpha and beta. Just write here sum of the roots is equal to how much? Minus b by a. So minus, instead of b, we are going to write minus 10 divided by a is 5. Minus minus is plus. So plus 10 divided by 5. How much is it? 2. Sum of the roots is 2. You don't have to solve it. You don't have to find out what is alpha and beta, and then you don't have to add it later on. Okay, the question wants the product also, not only sum but also product. So let's find out the product here. Here, so product of the roots. So what is the formula? Is equal to c by a, right? How much is c? C is 2 divided by a is 5. So it's done. No further cancellation or anything else is possible. So it's just 2 by 5. Product of the roots will be 2 by 5. Sum of the roots is just 2. Okay, let's take on one more example. All right. So let me rough this off. Let me just rough this off. Okay, next one, let's take 2x square. Let me write it with red. 2x square minus 3 root 3x plus 3 is equal to 0. Same problem, you have to find the sum and product of the roots. And do not solve the equation. Do not find out what are alpha and beta. So here, just like we have done earlier, you just have to find out a, b, and c. A is 2, b is minus 3 root 3, c is 3. Okay, then find out the sum of the roots. Sum of the roots, what will it be now? It will be minus b by a. Just put in the value of b and a. Minus b is minus 3 root 3. How much is a? A is 2. Minus minus, we get plus. So 3 root 3 by 2. No cancellation is possible. No division is possible between numerator and denominator. So we will leave it as it is. Okay, so let's find out the product of the roots. What will it be? It's c by a. Already know the formula. It's very, very easy. So c is 3, a is 2. No further cancellation, division is possible, right, between the numerator and denominator. So for this particular equation right here, the sum of the roots is this value. The product of the root is this value. Both of them, we use the formula minus b by a and c by a. Okay. From exercise 5.1, when you go to your textbook, you open exercise 5.1, question number 5. There are similar questions that you can do. You can try to attempt them, very easy. Okay, let's try to derive a few formulas that is very important to you in exam point of view. Okay, let's see. We will have some certain conditions here. First condition, if b is equal to 0. We have got a quadratic equation like this, right? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. What if b is 0? If b is 0, then this middle term, the linear term, it will be missing. Then the equation, the quadratic equation that you are seeing, it will be of this type. Equation will be of the form like this: x squared plus 7 is equal to 0. Here, look, we have got the quadratic term here. We have got the quadratic term here. We have got the constant term here. But the one with the x term, the one that has x as the variable, that is missing, right? We have got x squared. We don't have x value. We just have the constant term and the quadratic term. In that case, what will be the nature of the roots? Okay, let's see. You already know that the sum of the roots is alpha plus beta is, what was the formula? We have got minus b by a, right? But here, according to this assumption, it's if, okay? According to this assumption, then if b is equal to 0, then you have to put 0 here. In the numerator, you have to put 0. So in that case, alpha plus beta is equal to, if we have numerator 0 here, whatever the value of a is, then we're going to get 0. So alpha plus beta will be how much? Alpha plus beta will be 0. Then you can do a little bit of transposition, take the beta to the other side. Beta is plus sign here on the left hand side. Take it to the right hand side, it will become minus, right? So alpha is equal to minus beta. Okay, what does this deduction indicate? What this deduction indicate is, if one of the root is plus 3, then if alpha is plus 3, what will be the other? Other will be minus 3. Or if according to the formula, if we assign the value of beta first, let's say beta is minus 3. Okay, what will be alpha? Alpha is minus beta, right? So it will be minus of minus 3, so it will be 3. So what does this deduction indicate is that for an equation of this form, if you have x squared plus 7 is equal to 0, or if the middle term is missing, we just have ax squared plus c is equal to 0, then the value of the roots, alpha and beta, they will be of opposite signs. Get it? So just write down here. Therefore, the two roots of the equation will be of opposite signs. Okay, let's take this example and then find out. All right. So when we have x squared plus 7 is equal to 0, and already a is 1, b is 0, right? We are talking about the condition for b is equal to 0, remember? C is equal to 7. When you find out b squared minus 4ac, let's put minus here so that we don't get imaginary numbers. Let's put minus here. Same for this one also. Otherwise, we are getting imaginary roots. Okay. So C is not 7 anymore. It will be minus 7. If you calculate b square minus 4ac, what is the value now? It will be 0 minus 4 into 1 into minus 7. So we get 0 minus minus is plus. So 4 7, so we get 28 is equal to 20. What about the roots? Roots alpha will be minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. So we will get minus b here and here is 0. So when you put in the value, you are going to get root over b square minus 4ac. We have got 28 here already, right? 0 plus root over 28 divided by 2 into 1. Root over 28, we can further make it into 2 root over 7 by 2. You cancel out, so we get 7. In case of beta, we are going to get minus b minus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. We are going to get 0 minus root over 28 by 2 into 1. This will be minus 2 root 7 divided by 2, cancel out. So we are going to get minus root 7. Okay, as you can clearly see, there is a root missing. As you can clearly see that when you take this equation, when you have b is equal to 0, the condition that we have deduced earlier is that the two roots, there will be opposite sign, right? Look, one of the root is root 7, the other root is minus root 7. So you can clearly see that the roots are of opposite sign when we take one example. Okay, this is the first deduction. Let's check on the second deduction. We will put c is equal to 0. Okay, second, number 2, if c is equal to 0. If c is equal to 0, then ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. For this type of equation, c won't be present. We are going to have a square x square plus bx is equal to 0 only. So specific equation of this type, yeah, you can just write 2x square plus 3x is equal to 0. This is one equation of this type, right? Okay, if c is equal to 0, then you know that the product of the roots, when you multiply alpha into beta, you know that the formula is c by a. If c is equal to 0, you have to put the numerator is 0. So 0 by a, we are going to get 0, right? So alpha into beta, we are going to get 0 by a, which is 0. What is the meaning of alpha into beta is 0? If you multiply two roots, if you get 0, what is the meaning? That means one of them is 0. Both cannot be 0. Okay. Both cannot be 0 because if a quadratic equation has both of the root as 0, then the quadratic equation is not possible. So here the condition we are obtaining is alpha into beta is 0. How do we get the 0 here? Either you make alpha is equal to 0 or you make the beta is equal to 0. Get it? So hence either alpha is equal to 0 or beta is equal to 0. Get it? Okay, you can prove this. You can prove that one of them, alpha or beta, one of them is 0 just by looking at this equation itself. All right. Okay, you can check it. Okay, let's try to check it here. For this 2x squared plus 3x is equal to 0, we have got a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3. B square minus 4ac, how much is it? B is 3 square, 4 into a is 2, c is 0. 3 square is 9, right? 9 minus 4 into 2 into 0, we obtain 0, so it is 9. Alpha minus b plus minus plus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. You replace the value, you will see that b is minus 3 plus root over b square minus 4ac. B square minus 4ac, we have already calculated, it's 9 divided by 2 into 2. So here look, root over 9 is 3, right? Minus 3 plus 3 divided by 2 to the 4. Look, the numerator are minus 3 and plus 3. We are going to obtain 0, isn't it? If you add minus 3 and 3. So 0 by 4. How much is this? 0. If you calculate the beta, you are going to get nothing is changed except for this plus sign right here. The plus sign will be minus. So we are going to get minus 3 minus root 9 by 2 into 2. We are getting minus 3 by 4, which will be minus 6 by 4. Okay, you can cancel it further. 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4. So we get 3 by 2. Okay, look, for equations of this type, what's the equation of this type? In which the constant term is 0 or the constant term is missing. In that case, one of the roots, it may be alpha or beta depending on the equation. In our case, which one is 0? Alpha is 0. What about beta? Beta won't be 0. If one of them is 0, the other one won't be 0. All right. So for this equation, for this condition, if c is equal to 0, then when you are given an equation ax squared plus bx plus c, if the constant term is missing, if it is 0, then one of the roots will be 0. So right here, then one of the roots is 0. Okay. Okay, last one, the last property, the last deduction. Let's do the last deduction. Let's do a third one, a third condition. Third condition, if c is equal to a. You should know that a cannot be 0. Get it? If a is 0 here, if a is 0, quadratic equation is supposed to look like this, right? If this a is 0, then it will be 0x squared. That means this portion will be missing. We will have bx plus c only. Bx plus c is equal to 0 only. Since the quadratic term is missing, it won't be quadratic equation anymore. It will be a linear equation. So a cannot be 0. Note this down in a quadratic equation, okay? So for this condition right here, if c is equal to a, look at the product of the roots. I've got ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now look at the product of the roots. alpha into beta is equal to C by A, right? If the two are equal, I can replace either of them by one, only one, right? Let's not replace C, let's replace A because A is equal to C. So alpha into beta is equal to C by, instead of A, I am putting C, cancel this out, so we are getting 1. Alpha into beta is 1 in case C is equal to A. So if I found out alpha, we will get 1 by beta. If you do transposition, if you take beta to the other side, then alpha will be 1 by beta, right? Same thing, if you find out beta, alpha will come below 1, so beta will be 1 by alpha. So you can write beta is equal to 1 by alpha. What this condition means is that the two roots, they are reciprocal of one another. If you obtain one of the root as 3, the other will be 1 by 3. If you obtain one of the root as 1 by 4, the other will be, if you take reciprocal of 1 by 4, it will be 4, right? For this specific condition, if C is equal to A. Okay, we can check it out by using a specific example. Let's take 2x squared plus 7x plus 2 is equal to 0. So here, look, this is A and this is C. Both of them are 2, that is C is equal to A, right? So here A is equal to 2. This is also equal to C. Both A and C are 2. B is how much? B is 7. Find out B square minus 4AC. So it will be 7 square minus 4 into 2 into 2. 7 square is 49. 49 minus 4 2 is 8. 8 2 is 16. 49 minus 16. So we have got 33. When you find out the roots, you will be seeing that alpha and beta, they are the reciprocal of one another. For this one, this will be a little bit complicated. Okay, so here I can write the results below from this deduction. In case of C is equal to A, the product of root is alpha into beta is 1. So alpha is 1 by beta, or beta is 1 by alpha. So what is the deduction here? That is, the roots are reciprocal of one another. Get it? Okay. Now the deduction for this three conditions, they are absolutely important. You should know that first of all, we put B is equal to 0, then we put C is equal to 0. First condition, we put B is equal to 0. Second condition, we put C is equal to 0. Third condition, we put C is equal to A. So these three deduction, it can be put in multiple choice question form also. Okay, right? Sometimes we can form question like this. Question, if, let's not say if, for the quadratic equation, 2x squared plus 4 is equal to 0, which of the following is true? So multiple choice, first one I can write both roots are equal. Number 2, the roots are reciprocal to each other. Number 3, one of the roots is 0. And fourth one, the roots are of opposite sign. Okay, look at this equation. Which condition is satisfied? B equal to 0, C equal to 0, C is equal to A. And as you can see that the B term is missing. A is here, the x squared term is here, x squared term is here, the constant term is here. So the B term is missing. For the missing B term, B is equal to 0. We know that we obtain alpha. You can reverse this also. Beta is equal to minus alpha. You can write it in the opposite order also. What did then that mean? That meant that the two roots alpha and beta, they are of opposite signs, right? So this is both roots are equal. This is for the condition of B square minus 4AC is equal to 0. So the first one is not correct. The roots are reciprocal to each other. Roots are reciprocal to each other. This was the condition for C is equal to A. So in this equation, C is not equal to A. So this is false. One of the roots is 0. One of the roots is, it is not going to be 0 unless C is equal to 0. Here C is present. So this is not the correct answer. The roots are of opposite sign. Yes, obviously. If B is equal to 0, we obtain alpha is equal to minus beta. So 4 is, this is the correct answer. Okay, same question can be arranged for these two also. All right, very important. Okay, let's continue further. Let's continue with how to form quadratic equation if you are given roots. What have we been doing? We are given an equation that looks like this. Then you are supposed to find out the roots, right? The roots, one of them is alpha, the other is beta. We find it out using minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac by twice a. Here we found out by minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. We are going to go the reverse direction. If we are given roots alpha and beta, then what was the equation? Okay, the question will be like that. Form a quadratic equation if the roots are given. Okay, so next method, the next topic, we're going to discuss how to form quadratic equation if roots are given. That's the question. Okay, before we do this, you need to know that if I have x minus alpha is equal to 0, what is the value of x? X will be, you take the alpha to the other side to get alpha. And if you get x minus beta is equal to 0, what will be the value of x? X is equal to beta. What if you are given x minus 2 is equal to 0? What is the value of x now? The value of x is equal to 0 minus minus will be plus. Now 0 plus 2 will be 2. Okay, look. If you are given a solution or a value of a root and you are asked to find out the linear equation, not quadratic equation, you are asked to find out the linear equation. If the root is alpha, then it's very simple. You just have to bring the alpha to the other side and then the equation will be formed. Go the reverse direction from here. Bring the alpha to the other side, it will become x minus alpha is equal to 0. That is the linear equation. Very easy for linear equation. What is the difference between linear equation and quadratic equation? One of them has a single root. Linear equation has a single root. There are no two roots. For quadratic equation, we have two roots, alpha and beta. We denote them, right? So if you are given roots alpha and roots beta, what will be the linear equation that we form? We form x minus alpha and we form x minus beta. The quadratic equation, if you are given alpha and beta, that will be if you multiply this on the left hand side, multiply this on the right hand side. Okay, so if roots alpha and beta are given, just multiply the linear equations that we obtain from this, we obtain from this. What are the linear equation? X minus alpha, x minus beta. Multiply them on the left hand side. What are we going to get? We are going to get x minus alpha, x minus beta on the left hand side. Right hand side, 0 into 0 will be 0. If you solve this equation, then we know that we are going to get either x minus alpha is equal to 0 or x minus beta is equal to 0. So we get x equal to alpha, x is equal to beta as the roots. So let's simplify this. Let's multiply them. So first of all, if you multiply x and x, we are going to get x squared, the necessity term for a quadratic equation. X and beta, there is a minus sign there, so we will get minus beta x. For x, the multiplication is done. We get x squared and minus beta x. After x, we will have alpha, right? Alpha into x, we will get alpha x. There is a minus sign in the front, so minus alpha x. Alpha and x is multiplied, x will be alpha and beta. So we are going to have minus and minus. This minus sign and this minus sign, if you multiply them, then minus alpha into minus beta will be plus alpha beta is equal to 0. So between these two terms, you can take out the x common factor. X squared minus, take out the x common factor, what is remaining? Beta plus alpha x plus alpha beta is equal to 0. You know where this plus is coming, right? If minus is taken outside the bracket, then this minus will be changed into plus sign. So I can rearrange this. Don't write beta plus alpha, just write alpha plus beta. Okay, we will reverse the order into alpha plus beta. It's the same thing because it's addition. Okay, now we are given roots of a quadratic equation. What are those? Alpha and beta. Then we find out the equation where we obtain the alpha and beta as the roots. What is that equation? X minus alpha whole bracket x minus beta. Now we multiply this further and then we are getting x square minus alpha plus beta. What is this? This is the sum of roots, right? What is this? This is the product of roots. Very easy and simple. So here we can write down the equation as x square minus sum of roots into x plus product of roots is equal to 0. Let's underline this portion. Okay, let's give an example in order to make it more easier. Let's say you are given alpha is equal to 3 plus root 5, beta is equal to 3 minus root 5. What's the sum of root here? There is no way you are supposed to find a, you can find b by a, right? Because the equation is not there. You are given the roots only. Sum of the roots, that means you have to add them, alpha and beta. Okay, let's add them. 3 plus root 5 plus 3 minus root 5. Root 5 and root 5 are opposite sign. We can cancel them. 3 plus 3 is 6. Product of roots, multiply them. 3 plus root 5, 3 minus root 5. Obviously, this is a plus b, a minus b. So we will get a square minus b square. A is 3, so 3 square minus b square will be root 5 square. Cancel the square and root. 3 square is 9, minus 5 is remaining, so we have got 4. How do we find out the quadratic equation? Then we've got the formula right here. X square minus sum of roots into x plus product of roots. So the quadratic equation, the required quadratic equation. What is the required quadratic equation? We have got x square minus. You have to write sum of roots first into x, right? Sum of the roots is how much? 6 in our case when the roots are given. Are the given roots? Find the equation. So sum of the roots is 6. There is an x there plus the product of root is 4. So we have got 4 is equal to 0. Look, the equation is x squared minus sum of roots. Sum of root is 6. 6, where do we get this? We get from here. Into x plus product of roots. Product of roots, where do we get this? We get it from here, right? So if you solve this equation right here, x squared minus 6x plus 4, if you solve it using the quadratic method, minus b plus minus root over b squared minus 4ac by 2a, then you will find these roots. Okay, what we are doing is you are given the roots and then you are supposed to find out the equation. Okay, we will continue with one example tomorrow. And then there are some very important questions from your textbook that is asked very frequently in the HSLC examination. We will do the very important questions, and then we will do a few word problems. We will continue towards word problems further. Okay, let's finish here for today. I will see you all on the next class. Bye bye.